I'm a big fan of making sure that you warm up properly, especially your shoulders. This is actually a therapeutic exercise where you can just take a band and warm up your rotator cuffs. It really helps protect them from injury. And again, importance of warming up with some light dumbbell presses this time. And just a little bit more warm up with the band. Make sure that the shoulders are nice and warm so they're protected. So once you're nice and warm, you can get right into your working sets. Here I'm concentrating on the negative, making sure I get 3 seconds down and then an explosive motion up. And as you can see, I'm using working weight. There's no need to blow out all your glycogen with low weights and too many reps. So my friend here is doing reverse grip bench press, which really concentrates on the upper pec and also your triceps and takes a lot of the strain off of your rotator cuffs. So it's actually a really great way to grow your chest, and you don't need a lot of weight. So here's my second working set. I'm going to do one more and then switch on to the next exercise. And by this time, I've really fatigued the muscle and worked it out quite effectively. So my friend is doing his second working set, and as you can see, he's using the wrist wraps, which are a great idea, especially for bench press, close grip bench, skull crushers. You never can have enough safety, and it's always good to protect your wrists. So as you can see, I'm doing the reverse grip bench, and I've lowered the weight substantially so that I can concentrate on form. And at this point, this was really difficult to perform the reps with good form, but there's no ego lifting here. You just want to make sure you're getting that hypertrophic effect and maximizing your efficiency throughout the work. So moving on to incline dumbbell press, you can see that I'm really concentrating on the form, making sure to target the chest and a massive contraction. Now, typically I could move a lot more weight, but you're really going to get a much more hypertrophic effect with lower weight and adding resistance time, the time under tension, and just concentrating on good form. And as you can see, my buddy's actually using even lighter weight, even though he's bigger than me, and he's just really concentrating on that form, that deep stretch, and that big contraction, just squeezing his chest as much as possible and getting that blood force trauma, as much fascia tissue stretched as possible, just forcing the blood in and allowing the muscle to pump itself up in order to grow. And a great technique is to go past failure. So if you have a spotter, you want to spot by the elbows and just take away the sticking points and continue helping on the concentric motion, that's the positive motion going up, and then he can resist the negative motion. You're going to be about 33% stronger on the negative, so a little help can go a long way. And here we are going into skull crushers, and as you can see, I'm keeping my elbows nice and tight, pretty much straight up, and just allowing the forearms to go down and contracting the triceps to raise the weight, concentrating very good form, and just making sure that I really concentrate on the triceps for a big squeeze at the top, and then I concentrate on the negative going down for 2 or 3 seconds to really stretch out the muscle and making sure that I'm getting as maximum efficiency, the time under tension, and just going for everything that I can within that range of motion to make sure that I'm tapping out those muscles as much as possible, not using momentum, and really just moving the weight with the contractions and the negative eccentric phase as it lowers. As you can see, my friend is using a much wider grip, and I think there's a place for it. I think that you can maximize your hypertrophic effects on the triceps by going wide and narrow. Personally, I like the narrower grip. I feel a little bit more control, but I also think that the wide grip has its place and that you can work a different area of the tricep. And as you can see, I put my fingers on his triceps to try to get that mind-muscle connection for him so that he can really maximize that contraction, that squeeze at the top. And as you can see, he's really going down on the negative, and I'm just guiding him, making sure that he doesn't drop the bar, and that he can continue through the rep range with confidence, knowing that I'm there to catch the weight if he goes to complete failure. So here I'm using my wrist wraps, which protect your wrists, which are great if you're already fatigued from bench press and other things. And as you can see, I'm really concentrating on the negative. I'm giving at least 3 seconds down, really stretching the muscle. And on to side laterals now. As you can see, I'm really concentrating on the negative, about 3 seconds down, and then I'm really trying to concentrate on the mind muscle connection to contract my side lateral shoulders to bring up the weight and really cut out any momentum or any bounce, and just really focusing on that negative to stretch that muscle. And here I actually did a drop set going from pretty lightweight to even lighter to really just get that pump and flood the blood right into the muscles. You don't need to go heavy on these exercises. It's very hard to do good form with side laterals. So just go light and push the blood in, and just remember, it's pumping iron, not lifting weights. This is not a contest to see how much weight you can lift. It's actually, you want to go towards the pain, get through that pain threshold where you're actually pumping the muscle full of blood until you can't stand the pain, and then you just go right through that pain threshold as much as you possibly can. And a side lateral will be an excruciating experience if you do it right. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll